Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Um, yeah, we got Melissa in the house tonight with us.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, everybody.
hey, if you guys just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. We actually are live on Instagram now. So what's up, Instagram? If we have anybody over there, definitely different. Definitely different. Caesar, would you please read that clarity statement?
There is nothing I would rather do, Justin. The Hope Shot Clarity Statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there, and thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
Thanks, Caesar.
You're
Appreciate you.
welcome. My pleasure.
All right. We got Attic Junction in the house. What's up, Attic Junction? Man, it's a little slow getting in here. If you guys just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. And we got Tana. Hey, how are you? Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's see what we got over here. So we're just gonna jump right into it, man, and get into the topic. So Caesar, you wanna talk about the topic and why you came up with this?
You want me to talk about why? So we were having a conversation before we came on, and it seems like there's a theme of just being tired, worn out, just nothing left to give. And the holidays can do that to you. It's if you got family coming in town and you're trying to get the house ready, there's Christmas parties to show up to, there's gifts to wrap, there's the pressure of providing Christmas for the family, just all the things that can pile on. And at least for me, I can take on way more than I should. Yeah. And I was talking to Justin, and it seems like Justin has bitten off a big chunk of too much himself. So it just seemed like it would be a good place to have this topic. People in recovery, everybody on this screen, it's our purpose in life to share this message and to help other alcoholics and addicts and just help people get into recovery. But I'm not any good to anybody else if I'm not taking care of myself, and holidays or no holidays, busy work week or no busy work week, I have to put my recovery, my self-care, I have to put those things at the forefront, or I'm no good to anything. I remember this counselor when I was in, rehab number 2 or 3. It was one of them. He was like, anything you put in front of your recovery, you will lose. And I remember I was like, that's ridiculous. The most important thing is that I take care of my family. What I didn't understand was I can't take care of my family if I'm not sober. And I have a track record of seeing exactly that. Suddenly, family's not so important. The only thing that's important is the next one. So, during these holiday times, there's all kinds of triggering situations, getting back together with family events that you may feel uncomfortable at, work events that you may feel uncomfortable at, taking on too much, trying to provide above and beyond, if it's like one of your first Christmases back and you're just trying to give your kids the world, and it's admirable, but not at the expense of your sanity and of your recovery. So just the fact that it's this time of year, it's like the countdown is on. We're almost to Christmas. Everybody's under pressure. I mean, heck, going to Walmart's like going to a war zone right now. It's like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Everything's a little more stressful this year or this time of year. Everything's a little more pressing. Money's a little tighter. Take care of yourselves. We do these gratitude lists every morning, and it's just a priority for me to start my day off in gratitude. Because no matter what I'm stressing about, if it's work or providing Christmas or doing this, I can always look back and go, what am I really stressing about? I wasn't there for Christmas for a decade. You know, there was no Christmas. There was double hot trays to look forward to, no phone call. You know, there was nothing. There was just incarceration. So I can slow down and just be grateful for the fact that I'm free, that I am employed, I have a roof over my head. And once I get back to those little basics like that, then I'm okay. Then I can breathe, you know, and I got to do some reading, some spiritual things. I got to make my meetings that I go to. I have to do the things that keep me well, or I'm going to crash and burn. It's just, it is how it is. And we can only take so much, you know. If you're out pouring it out, helping others, just being the best dad, friend, sponsor, whatever it is, you're pouring it out all day and you're not filling that back up with your own spirituality, your own time, your own meetings and those things, you'll eventually be empty. And that's when we're at risk. That's when I'm at risk. When I've given it all and I don't have anything more to give and I don't recharge, I don't slow down, I'm at risk of doing something stupid. And it doesn't matter if you've got 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, 25 years. We can't run on empty. So, you know, just listening to Justin talking about, oh man, I'm just burnt out and I just get, it's kind of everybody this time of year. It just kicks your ass. I mean, it really does. You're running around like a crazy person, just going to the grocery store, literally. I said Walmart. Walmart's the next level up, but just going to a regular grocery store right now is absolutely nuts. So take a deep breath, be kind to yourself, be kind to the people that you encounter, especially when you see cashiers behind the counter that are getting their asses kicked all day. If you're ordering something coming to your house, be kind to the person delivering it. Take care of those people. But first and foremost, take care of yourself. Don't forget that we got to recharge to be able to give that energy back out into the world. And if we want to give good energy, we got to put good energy back in, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your spirituality looks like, whatever your recovery looks like, whatever keeps you moving in the good direction every day. Keep doing that so that you don't burn out and find yourself in a situation that you wouldn't normally be in if you were taking care of yourself. So I just think it's a good topic for this time of year. I think it's a good lesson if you're brand new. If you've got decades, it's important to make that time to strengthen your recovery and to fill back up before you go back out in the world and pour it all back out again. Right, Justin?
Yes, Caesar. You know, it's just a little bit of everything, you know, this time of year. It's not just one thing, it's everything, you know. It's trying to gear up for vacation, it's trying to gear up for the holidays, it's making sure that everything is everybody feels like they got enough. You know what I mean? It's not about like big things, because we don't do that big stuff. You know, we don't do electronics. We're trying to like steer away from electronics and stuff. You know what I mean? So, but we want to make sure everybody feels like they got enough, like they're full. You know, we have to fill their cups as well. And going through all the motions and all that, and like the Amazon and going to the store and making time to go to the damn store. And then on top of that, I decided to do a fire pit in my backyard, which is coming together. And I want to get it done for Christmas so I can sit outside in a swing and have a little like me time. You know what I mean? And in the process of doing that, I'm tired. Today kicked my butt, man, but I got a lot done. You know, it's just for the moment, but I literally from sun up to sundown, you know, I did some estimates today. I went out there and did the damn fire pit. Then I cooked dinner and lunch for the whole damn week. One shot, like everything. So, yeah, I don't know what that is. Recharge. I wish I could just plug myself in the damn wall. I'll tell you right now. Okay. Yes. A thumbs up for that. But you know, and it's okay. You know, right now I am tired, and today did deplete me, and I'm not really feeling like I didn't feel like going on here. You know, and and that's okay. You know, I still show up. I do what I need to do, and you know, and these guys will carry me half the way. You know, most of the way because um, you know, uh, I still don't get depleted enough to where I don't, you know, I take it out on everybody else around me. And at times I want to, man. I'm sitting here like, what are they freaking doing? You know, just sitting there. You know, and I want to. What is this?
Read
Lindsay
that.
says my disease tries to make me feel less than if I'm not in the position to do all I can for holidays. I have to show myself some grace. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that right there is you only can do what you can do, and sometimes you feel inadequate. You know, I like that word inadequate because you can't give more than you want to, and there's only so much you can do. There's a you know unless we'd really deplete ourselves and put us ourselves in trouble. You know, we get ourselves in trouble quick.
Dude, I look back at like Facebook memories of what the first Christmases after I got sober looked like, and it was this little tiny tree with like 5 or 6 little gifts underneath it, and everybody was happy. Then the next year was like 10 or 12 gifts, and everybody was just as happy as the 6th gift year. And then you move forward, and there's just this pile of stuff that really doesn't mean anything, that you kill yourself trying to provide and spend all this money and put yourself in debt. And the level of happiness is no different than the 6 boxes that were under the tree with the tiny tree. And I just have to remember, it's not about that. It's about the time with family. It's about the thought of getting somebody a gift. It's not how much can I get you? You know, it's just whatever that looks like. You know, kids just want to tear some paper open and open something. They usually play with it for that day, and then it goes in the closet and it's forgotten about. And it's just not as important as we make it out into our mind. But exactly what she said, Lindsay, like my disease tells me, you know, I'm not good enough if I don't provide like the ultimate Christmas. And it's just not true.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. It's like mostly all they just want is just your time. They just want time. They want time with you, uninterrupted quality time. And that's something we're leaving for, 7 days. And we're really going to be very, very mindful of not sitting on this bad boy, getting lost, sitting here, and while these kids are sitting here and they can't have electronics, why do you think they want them? They want them because that's what we do. They want to be like us, And I really, really am focused on taking that time to unplug totally, totally for the most part. But I was kidding. Yeah, let me read some comments, man. I want to you guys listen. Let's just jump in, man. You guys let's just chat, man. Let's chat. Okay.
I love when we just go back and forth and have a conversation. I like it much better than Nathan. It's your turn to talk for 15 minutes, and then we will go on to the next person.
Sarah says, just started a full-time job and I have to remember not to put it before my recovery. Today was my first day off after a full work week. I just finished my denial section of my step 1. Man, I cannot fall into denial of what Caesar said. Whatever we put in front of our recovery, we will lose. So true. And that's a fact. And then we have Raphael, good evening from Fisher Island, Florida. What's up? Good to see you. We got Christina says, with all the Christmas chaos going on, the hubby and I are planning a little trip around town to sip hot cocoa, drive around, and look at Christmas lights and listen to Christmas music. I'm trying to just stay present in the moment and be grateful for where I am at today, because none of my life would be possible if I hadn't found recovery 4.5 years ago. Blessed beyond measures today. Simple things like that.
I love that.
Simple. Just going out and riding in town and looking at some Christmas lights. Like, when's the last time you did that, people? Like, I want to know. Like, are you guys out there actively trying to go look at Christmas lights so we used to like go around town? You do? Good.
Mhm.
I took the kids all over. Kelly was doing something, so I put them in the golf cart and I put on Christmas music, and we drove all over. It was as far as we could go in a golf cart, and looked at all the neighborhoods and all the lights. And
Same.
Yeah,
We put on trap music, Christmas trap.
I love that.
You know, like, yeah, Christmas trap music, blast it out. And then the other night, my husband and I went for a walk. We never take time during the week just to connect, just him and I. You know what I mean? It's go, go, go. What does the kid need? Who needs to be where? Our work schedules are like opposite. He does a lot of overseas stuff, so he works in the evenings or pauses in the afternoon to be present and then checks back into work in the evenings. And so the other night he's working on his fitness, and he said, I'm going to go for a walk. Do you want to go? And I was like, at first I was like, no, it's cold outside and I got a lot to do. I got dishes, I got laundry, I got presents. I'm like, what are you even asking? Like, I was mad at him for asking me on a date. That's what it is. That's our kind of date. And then as he's walking out, he didn't say anything. He's so quiet. And then as he's walking out the door, I said, wait for me. You know, I was like, what am I talking about? Like, the dishes can wait. The laundry can wait. All of the other crap can wait. And we went and walked through the neighborhood, which is just lit. I mean, it is lit up. And it was freezing cold. And we just walked and looked at the Christmas lights together. And we're just present. And it was only enough time before we start getting on each other's nerves like we do. But it was just a long enough walk. And I remember I came home and I was like, that was like probably going to be one of my favorite memories of this Christmas season. And I almost missed it by trying to do too much because I got to get it done. And I got to check off that list. Caesar, you always talk about checking off that list because we have the same mentality. I mean, that is like my work mindset. And I carry that my work mindset into my sober down mindset, into my parenting mind. Like, that's how and I have to know that when I leave my job, I'm an administrative assistant and I manage people's schedules and calendars and programs. And so I have to think that way. But when I come home, I don't have to be so regimented. You know what I mean? And even with what I do with Sober Now, there's schedules and things like that. But I can pull back if I want to. It's my business to manage and operate. I mean, I can only be of service if my cup's full. And so I have to remind myself, whoever made that comment a second ago is so true. It is important. And then also I wanted to mention, Caesar said gratitude and grateful several times. And then somebody else left a comment about gratitude. And that's just exactly where I'm at right now. I should be like I should turn this camera around, let y'all see what my room looks like right now with all kinds of stuff going on for Christmas coming up. I should be falling out on the floor over there with all that stuff, like face down, but I just keep going and going and going. But really, this year, things look so disheveled and not like I miss this Christmas. Normally I have my gifts already wrapped by November and like I'm all decorated and I got it all lined up and I'm going to be the one who's going to bring the Christmas joy to everybody. And this year, I'm not that person. And I was having a hard time kind of like, I kept saying, have I haven't found my Christmas spirit? Or am I just changing, like, as far as my perspective on what is important, you know? And so I think it's kind of all fallen to the back burner and it's just happening whenever it happens. Because I am just so in gratitude for each day and each opportunity. And I am really just trying to stay present. And that is how I'm keeping my cup full this season. And hopefully, you know, moving forward for my recovery path, because I do get ahead of myself. And I do, I like to be a service. I like to be a good mom. I like to be a good wife. It's 10 years in recovery last November, and I'm still trying to make up for when I wasn't there. You know, I am. That's my truth. And at work, I just want to be the best employee. And there's nobody around me that says, Melissa, you're just not doing good enough. Melissa, you just need to maybe give a little bit more. It's right, Caesar. It's all in my head. And I think all of us, I don't know if that's something that everybody who's in who has an addictive personality, it seems to be a common trait for us addicts. Maybe not everybody, but the majority of us we are like obsessive, right? And so our obsession switches from our addiction, and in recovery, it switches into other things. We just like want more, and we want to do more, and we want to give more. And just finding that balance and that vibe where we can just have that gratitude on a daily basis, and we can stay connected with each other, and we can remember that 6 presents under the Christmas tree is just as good as any other thing that we're trying to do. And just sitting here, the 4 of us talking with anybody who's listening out there right now, that's a beautiful thing. That's all we need is this moment, this hour together. That's all we need right now in the present moment. So I don't know. I guess I'm done rambling. I just wanted to share about that. The gratitude is keeping my cup full.
That's perfect. That thing with this up here, like my wife will hear me say, like, oh, I'm just a lazy POS, you know? And she's like, really? You're lazy?
Yeah.
Say that out loud again and think about it. You're lazy. But like in here, if I don't do one little thing on that checklist, then I am lazy and worthless in my head. I couldn't complete the list. You know, what good am I? And it's ridiculous. And to look at life as a checklist, there's no gratitude in that. That's miserable. So I really try to get out of that. Yes, that's how I function and work because I have to, just like you said, but I can't take that into the rest of my life and check life off, well, you know, one check at a time, because that's a terrible way to live. I don't want to check life off. I want to live life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a mind that tells me I'm not doing enough. I got to do more. I got to go harder. I got to go harder. You know, that
go hard.
is in every aspect of my life, like financial or my work life, or the only thing it's mostly work and finances is like, I feel like I'm always lacking in that area and I need to do more. I need to go more and I'm not getting where I need to be. And I don't know, man, I think I'm uncomfortable sometimes when I'm not working. You know, I don't know how to have a moment, you know, and I don't know how to relax.
Hey, Justin, listen to this. I'm so in sync with you right now about that. Like it feels wrong to not be moving, right? Y'all know I just had that surgery. It's been like 7 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And so that was like horrible for me because I had to be still. And even when I was up and about and back into things, I wasn't allowed to lift anything. I'm still not, but I'm all in. I'm back to living life. I'm like, whatever. I'm healed in my mind. But the thing is, this clicked yesterday. I was thinking about, you know, how you're driving down the road and you just think things and you're like, wow, that makes sense. There's no reason why it just popped in my head. I used to take this phrase as a compliment. When I would hear people say, how do you do it all? Wow, you did this, and this, and you still are going to go home and do this, and that. I wish I had what you had in you. How are you, man? Like those were compliments to me because I was getting affirmations from people around me that I can do it all. And when I would feel that way, I would get that, you know, kind of confidence from people doing that. Then I would get, it's almost like getting a taste of a drug. Do you know what I mean? An emotional drug. I was like, okay, then I can do more. I like that people recognize that I'm a doer, and not only am I a doer, but I'm good at it. And I had that light bulb go off, that epiphany. And I was like, that's not a compliment. Next time you hear somebody saying that to you, Melissa, that's your like gift from your higher power, whom I call God, saying you're doing too much. So instead of, I'm like you always talk about mindset, right? And changing your mindset, Justin. I'm like trying to reprogram my brain that if I start hearing people say, holy crap, how did you pull that off? You're throwing a wedding for your boss and your family's coming into town and you also got this kid doing that. And you're going, that is going to be my triggers in myself to say, wait a minute, Melissa, you better take a step back and find out which 2 or 3 things that you can be knocking off that checklist that me and Caesar like to have. But I used to think that was like, that's what made me, being that doer and having it all, doing it all. But it's not. That's actually not a compliment. That's people saying to me, you're going a little too hard. That's how I've reprogrammed my brain anyway. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's just like when we were on drugs, on substances, it's like, yeah, I think you're going a little overboard, it's like I would drink, or I would drug, and it's just like anything else in my life. I overdo almost everything in my life except for relaxing.
Yes. We need to figure out how to tell ourselves that, like, sitting still and doing nothing. Like, if we are good at that, then we are the man, we are the woman. We figured it out.
Yeah.
Nobody compliments you for being good at sitting around, and we want compliments. That's the thing is, I chase that approval. So when somebody says, man, I don't know how you do it. You worked 10 hours and then you came and unlocked for the meeting and then you still went to the gym. Like, I'm smiling inside going, shit. So I'm just built different, man. It's like,
I'm built different. Yeah, that's our excuse.
And I like play it off like it's no big deal. But inside I'm going, man, I'm really doing a good job. Look at me. I bet I could do more. And that's full circle right back around to I'm burning myself out for approval. Not because it's getting me anything. I'm not really making any more money because I worked an extra couple hours. I'm not really, it's a big show. Look at me. Look at what I can do. Look what I can pack into one day. And it's like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to work just to provide for my family, like not to show off. I don't want to be that guy that's always gone at work that misses all the moments. Sorry, we got 3 dogs here tonight. We have an extra dog, so it's extra nuts here.
We have 2 at my feet too. They busted in somehow.
Yeah, I've got the in-laws dog in my lap. The other 2 needed to go outside while we're on the show. And Kelly and the kids are out on the golf cart right now, so it's wacky over here. You want to do some comments, Mr. Justin? I believe that you're muted.
I said Nate might be depleted too. I don't know, man.
Yeah, what you got to say,
His
Nate?
microphone's not working.
I'm just listening, man. You guys are going back and forth. I was just taking it in.
I'm just waiting for you to jump in. Like we're doing that, like a jump rope, like Miss Mary Mac, like getting it.
Jump in, jump out.
We got 2 going, waiting for you, bro.
I was just thinking what I could add to this conversation. And, what keeps coming to me is that
Come here.
it was in the beginning of my recovery, it was terrifying to just sit with myself. And, and I had to have things to do so I didn't have to think about the things I did. Like I had to be moving. So he's Rudolph with the bullshit. Yeah. Action. Yeah, but in my mind, I have to be, when I first got here, I said yes to everything. I didn't say no to anything. I depended on, I defined, how I was doing inside, but by what I was accomplishing externally. And when it all comes down to it, it's just a matter of, I don't know how to sit with myself. I don't know how to sit with my thoughts. I don't know how to sit with what I did or who I was. And, if I'm sitting in silence, my mind is going, right? I have to learn how to be able to do less, to do nothing, and to sit with that and be comfortable in that space, because I never had that in my entire life. I don't have experience doing these things when I come in here. I was completely numbed or incapacitated for so many years. And now you take that away, and I'm just sitting with all my thoughts and feelings and emotions, things that are completely foreign to me. I have no idea what's going on inside of me. I don't know what this thing is I'm feeling. And I have to relearn, or maybe learn for the first time, how to be okay with myself. you know, and that's where I feel like where pouring from empty cups comes from. Like, I have to do some serious internal work in order to be okay with myself, and let alone just to function normally, but especially to sit by myself, or to sit alone, or to not have to be doing things in order to feel like I am somebody. You know, for me, um you know, what I do on a daily basis, what I accomplish, you know, and there's that quote that says, you know, about busyness, about how, like, this new generation, and Melissa and Caesar kind of touched on it, is like that it's a cool thing. It's cool to be busy. You're so busy. You work 12 hours today. You did X, Y, and Z. You know, it's, to me, that's not how I want to live today. You know, for me, I want to pack in as much as I can in a day, with my family, with my recovery, with, you know, the things that matter. You know, I started a landscaping company, right? And I remember when I first started, I worked 12, 13 hours every single day for about 2 years. And everybody's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because I was building it up so I could not have to work anymore. You know, I wanted more time for myself. And there are some people that don't understand that. They're like, bro, why aren't you out there doing it too? I'm like, because I don't want to. I'd rather, because now I'm in a position where I can, you know, be full time for this, for the Hope Shot, and I can have a schedule that gives me more freedom, because I don't want to just work my entire life to retire for 5, 10 years, you know, when I'm 60, 70 years old. You know, I got sober to enjoy my life, not to be a slave to a job, to activities, to, you know, engagements that I'm probably don't even want to be at to begin with, but I just say yes to because I feel like if I don't, then I'm not a part of. And that's what it comes down to: self-worth. Like, if I'm okay in my own skin, I can go and do whatever the fuck I want to, or not, you know, and not feel like I'm, you know, being left out, or I'm not a part of, or, you know, this group don't like me, or that group don't like me, you know. I didn't know that when I first came in here. I thought if I didn't get invited, or if I wasn't involved, then I was less than, that I lacked, you know, there was something wrong with me because I'm not at this event, or I'm not with this person, or this group doesn't include me, you know. And yeah, for me, it all comes down to like that deep core, you know, spiritual work. You know, the closer I get to God, the closer I get to my solution, the closer I get to my purpose, the more I am okay in my own skin, and I don't have to be 100 places at once to feel okay. You know, and that for me is like the biggest disease today for me, because, you know, we get into recovery and the obsession for alcohol and drugs is lifted, right? But we still have an alcoholic mind, or an addicted mind. You know, my mind still functions like not normally, you know, so I can attach that ism to whatever I do, whatever I'm just, you know, not aware of. And yeah, for me in the beginning, it was like, you know, not to mention, I got sober at 38 years old. Yeah, 38 years old. I got sober at 38 years old. Maybe 39. Yeah, 38.
He's about to pull his sock off to count that one. He's almost there.
I got sober at 38 years old. I never had a real bank account. I never really had a real job. I never owned my own car. I never had a cell phone. I never had a career. I don't have retirement. I don't have a 401k. I get in here and I feel like I'm behind everybody. I have to catch up. I have to do all this stuff. I have to work so much in order to get to this, you know, conceived fucking destination where I think I belong. In the meantime, I have to understand, and the only way I can understand, if I have some type of spiritual connection and a program and a fellowship to hold me accountable, is that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at all times. You know, I am right where I'm at right now for a reason. If I can accept that and embrace that truth, then I can start really, like just being present and being grateful. And with that perspective, I understand more today than ever, is that for me, like the downtime is 100% more important than the busy time. To me, that's the time when I connect to God. I do self-care. I spend time with my loved ones. I'm working with a sponsor. Like, I'm getting outside of myself and not just doing something to make me richer or to make me more secure. I'm not taking stuff externally and trying to, make it me feel good inside. And so for me, like, I need to, somebody touched on it, but like, I have to really change my thinking and how I see, like, what is success? What is wealth? What is, accomplishment? To me, that used to be a big bank account, the right job, a nice home. And today it's not that. But as much as I'm disconnected from my higher power, I can start believing that stuff is so much more important than what got me into a position to experience those things at all. Right. And today I need to stay grounded. I need to stay connected. And like, my level of like, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough money, my financial insecurities, which I have them just like anybody else, is a direct reflection of my spiritual connection. If I'm connected and doing the things, none of that shit matters. I'm not thinking about my bank account when I'm sitting here with some poor bastard that's been sober for a week, like it was about to die, and I'm trying to give him a message of hope. I'm not thinking about myself, or I'm not thinking about, I need to go do this. I am right where I belong, just like I'm right where I belong tonight, just like I'm right where I belong this Christmas, regardless of what I can spend. Yeah.
Yo,
I gotta do the deep down work. I gotta connect to God. If I'm connected to this, if I'm connected to God, I'm connected to my solution. I want to be busy in that. I want to be busy building my relationship with my higher power, because the stronger that is, the more this shit doesn't matter,
Well, the one thing that I, like this, when this whole podcast, everything started, the story sharing was addiction to success. And what does that look like? Because there was a long time where, like you just said, Ket, I'm behind. I'm behind in this life. I spent 23 years in addiction, and like, I'm behind the marker. I got to catch up. I got to get here. I got to get there. And no matter how many milestones I hit, it was never enough. I got the house, I got married, I got, a good credit score. I got, it's never enough. And no matter how hard I worked, I never got anywhere. I never made more money. Like my stuff never was. And you know what? One guy told me a long time ago, he says, if you went nowhere else where you are right now, are you still successful? If you went nowhere else. And that's what really I had to think about going through this, going through the motions and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. And I didn't get anywhere. And I'm not even going the same direction I was. That's right. How ever changing it is, and how we can flip flop so quick. And we might not be doing the same thing we're doing this year, next year. Who knows? We're going to be in a whole different mindset and a whole different growth and spirituality and all of it. And if we're just killing ourselves, and we might never get there either, So,
dude, Justin, yeah. I remember a conversation we had. So I heard somebody say once, comparison is the thief of all joy. Mm-hmm. And I remember having a conversation with Justin, because we were in this networking group together, and we're comparing now our selves, the two guys on this screen, to these business owners that have never been through what we've been through, that did not start their lives over, that have been in the same business for 35 years, never missed a beat. And we're looking at what they have monetarily, all the bells and whistles that they have. And we're just clawing, trying to get more. We got to catch up. And I don't know if he figured it out first or I figured it out, whatever it was. We were like, what are we doing? Like, like we just figured out how to adult. Like, what are we doing chasing this? There's a reason these people, you know, are where they are. They've been responsible, reliable, and hardworking their entire life. They weren't in prison for years, you know, none of these things. And we are chasing this ideal of that's what I need to be happy. I got to have that. And thank God we figured it out, because that's a lie. And I talk about, I put it in my gratitude a lot for my focus for the day. I need to remember that external things cannot bring me internal peace or internal joy. That stuff only comes from God, and my self-esteem only comes from esteemable acts and all of those things. And I remember my original sponsor telling me, because like I looked at his life, and he was my sponsor. You know, he had his issues coming in, but he had never lost a job. So it was really kind of, that part of it was a little unrelatable to me. He had the same career his whole life. He had the house, he had a cool car, he had a big 65-inch screen curved TV. And I was like, man, you know, if I get this next promotion, I'm going to get a TV like that. And he goes, hey, man, he goes, TV's cool. It's cool. He goes, but I bought it. I hung it up on my wall. And within 2 weeks, I saw a better TV. And that TV didn't look that cool anymore. And he's like, that's how it will always be. If your goal is to buy a Porsche 911 and you succeed and you get the Porsche 911, you're going to look at the Ferrari. If you get the Ferrari, you're going to look at the Lamborghini. You get the Lamborghini, you're going to look at the Bugatti. And it is how it is. That is not your happiness. And it never will be. It won't be in a house. It won't be in a car. It's only in the relationships. The relationship with God, the relationship with people on a daily basis. That's where the joy can be found. And it's internal joy that can't be taken away by you can't lose it. You can't go, oh man, it wasn't attainable today because I didn't work hard enough. No, it's attainable every day. If we put aside the monetary and the physical blessings that we chase, they come anyway. When you're responsible and reliable and doing the right thing and being of service and being there for people, guess what? You're hireable. You're desirable. You'll get it. You may not be the richest person on earth, but you will be okay. And there's never been anything that I've read that says we're going to get what we want. But there is a lot of things that say he, capital H-E, will provide what we need. And that's true. What do I need? I don't need all this. My needs are met. We have food, we have shelter, we have friends, we have family. That's the needs are met. Everything else on top of that is gravy. And I got to remember that as a guy that didn't have anything to keep track of except for a Foot Locker in my cell, that this crap, this ain't it. It's how I feel in here, and how I feel about myself is completely contingent on what my spiritual level is for the day. Am I spiritually fit? No, and I'm probably resentful, and I wish I had a nicer house, or I wish I got a bonus that I didn't get or something. If I start the day off on the right foot and I'm in gratitude and I'm doing what I believe to be God's will, I'm not wanting for anything. Same life, same stuff. Completely different perspective when you're plugged into the right thing. And, you can place it any way you want. Like church says the world is how they refer to it. Or my church, they'll say, oh, it's like the things of the world don't matter. The things of the spirit matter. You can spin that however you want, but it's true. Like the worldly possessions are pretty much worthless for my peace of mind in my internal calm. It's just another bill that I have to pay if I'm really thinking about it. And it brings me more stress, more anxiety. And then I got to work even harder because I bought bigger shit.
Yeah. Simplicity is way more of a desirable trait than a desirable thing than anything else. I feel that's what I'm after: simplicity. So it's the simple life, man. There's nothing wrong with the simple life either. And most of the time, man, sometimes you just need to go to sleep, anyways. You know, like me.
Sometimes you just
Like-
need a nappy nap, bro.
Sometimes you just need a nap. You know, it's okay. You know, naps are cool. Look, I took a nap the other day, and I was like, because I was just done. Like I think it was yesterday. And this weather, anytime when it comes to like in the winter time, man, the weather gets
And it
you
rained all
down.
day. And it rained all day. That was
Yeah.
such a good nap day.
It was, you know, and definitely the gratitude sets the tone for your happiness, man. It really does, you know. And I could have I'm telling you, I would have a shitty day if I didn't sit here and do my morning routine. And even when I don't want to be, when I don't want to be grateful, that's the time I need to be more. That's the time I need to do it. And I'm like, oh, I'll do it. I gotta go. You know, the flooding back of the anxiety from the day before is coming, and you're like, whoa. I gotta get this in, because if not, I'm gonna be just throwing a tantrum all day. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know,
So-
I think the biggest misconception in recovery is that, you know, once you get sober, once the storm is passed, and you know you're not on probation, the felonies are gone, you're in a house, like it's just going to be smooth sailing. That's when the work starts, man. Because now I am faced with the very thing that got me into the position I was in to begin with, which is my thoughts. It's how I see the world. It's how I feel about myself. Like, these are the things that I need to address. If I remember one of my mentors and best friends, we used to run together, and he said, I was like, you know, trying to do too much when I was still in treatment and coming out and working. And he's like, Nathan, what do you have to offer? You don't have anything to offer. And I thought it was the biggest, like, most offending thing he could ever like tell me. I'm like, not even a year sober. And he wasn't saying it to be mean. He was saying it because it's true. I didn't have much to offer then. I didn't know myself. I had no self-esteem, no self-worth. I had no job. You know, I had no address. I you know, I didn't have much to offer, and that's okay. You know, so once like the work starts, once all that stuff passes, and you're left with yourself, you know. And I've worked with some very high-end clients that, you know, some of them are billionaires, right? Some of them had all the money in the world, and these people would die for what we have. They would die to just not only know their purpose, but to get to live it out on a daily basis. I have been gifted. I have been blessed with not only knowing my purpose, but the ability to share that with others and live it out on a daily basis. This guy, the guy that spent years in prison, that took from everybody, that hurt his parents, that let him down, that lost his girls, like that, all these things happen. And I know my purpose today. My purpose is to take those seemingly tragic things and use them to help somebody else. What a gift. Money, you know, jobs, houses, they're great to live under. I lived in solitary confinement for years on end. You know what I mean? I'm grateful wherever I end up right now, as long as I am carrying out my purpose and, you know, enriching and enlarging upon my spiritual life, so I can be of maximum service to whoever I come across, not just people in recovery, but my community, neighbors, strangers, however that looks. You know, that's the juice. You got the juice, man. That's where it's at, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said,
Justin's he's a space cadet, man.
yeah, he's tired tonight. It's all right. You can be tired.
I love it.
It's
But you know what, Nate? That's so true. You said that's the juice. But earlier when you were talking, as far as like keeping your own cup full, like you hit the nail on the head. Like when you're connected with your higher power, your creator, and you're spiritually fit, then your cup is full. Because you don't overextend yourself. You don't sign up for all of these things so you can get the accolades and the approval, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And so that part, that is a hard balancing act to try and figure out, especially in early sobriety. But once you start to figure it out, and you through life circumstances or life on life terms, we learn that, right? We learn, no, this is the difference. I know when I'm in tune, I'm in with my creator, I'm doing my morning gratitudes with the people I'm talking, I'm going to my meetings, I'm doing whatever your regimen is for your recovery path. You know, when you're off and when you're not doing those things, you can feel the difference, right? And so having that at the center always is so important for me. Like, I really agree with you on that, because if I don't have that connection, then I'm just doing it for myself. And my purpose has nothing to do with me. My purpose is clear, that I'm a vessel to carry a message to help others the best that I can, one day at a time, really. And a lot of times I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it. Me and Justin talk about that all the time. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just showing up. I'm just doing it. But it doesn't matter. I don't have to know, because if we are allowing our creator to will the way and not us and our little checklist getting in the way and distracting us from that purpose, everybody has a purpose, then if we're able to fulfill that assignment. That's why we're here. So I don't know. I love what you said. It's a beautiful thing. And the gratitude that we've been talking about this entire hour, it blooms from that relationship with self and with your creator. We have to have a relationship with ourselves and get to know ourselves. That's why I didn't want to ask Justin. I called Tiffany off the chain before I went into my surgery. I had two big fears. I did not want to, I was fearful of pain management. They kept trying to prescribe me stuff that I shouldn't have been taking. And even 10 years in, I was scared that I would get weak, And so I didn't want to be in pain. So I was scared of pain. I just had this thing going on in my head. But the second part, maybe it was the larger part, honestly, was that I was going to have to sit by myself with myself. And I know I've been running ragged. I've been doing a lot. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know about me and what I do. And I was going to have to sit there. And I believe that God was asking me to do some work, some internal work, before I can get ready to write and share and carry a message some more. That I had to spend some time with him. And that was during that recovery period. And I was terrified, because I knew that I was lacking in some areas, and I was putting myself on the back burner, and I was going to have to sit in that and really think about it. And there wasn't going to be any getting up and doing the laundry or driving a kid to school or answering the phone at work or checking the bank account or posting the whatever, because I couldn't. I was like physically put in timeout by really, I felt like God put me in timeout so I could check myself, which is a blessing, but you have to stay connected. It's a beautiful thing. So I love that. You always share about that. I love that. Always, never stop touching on that, Nathan. It's amazing. I love it.
No, he's consistent. It's funny though. Another thing that somebody told me was, when you're balanced, and when you're doing the right thing, you won't feel burnt out.
Yeah.
When you're doing things with the right intentions, doing your higher powers will, doing the service, you won't feel burnt out. When you feel burnt out is when you're taking on things for ego.
Yeah.
When you're feeding your spirit, you don't get burnt out. When you're feeding your ego, you start to feel really burnt out.
What? I'm a little burnt right now, but I'm not.
No, but
it's it up over here, bro.
Listen, I'll tell on myself. I don't care. I used to take every commitment, and I didn't know it at the time. I thought I was doing the right thing, but it goes right back to
talk about boundaries. Tell me, Caesar, please tell me you're about to touch on boundaries and why they're important, and how at the base of not setting boundaries really is an ego-driven thing, whether you're ready to admit
and
it
being
or not.
able to say no, because I'm not effective for 25 people. What real time am I giving them individually? If I say yes to every person that says, hey, can you sponsor me? That's ego again. Yes, of course I can
Mhm.
take on another one. Don't you see this S on my chest? I'm Superman. I could take on you and you and you. I'm cheating them
Yeah.
to feed my ego.
Hmm.
So years ago, I said I wouldn't have any more than 5 at a time, and that was when my life looked much different. I can't even do 5 at a time now at one time because I work 12-hour days. I have a family that I can't turn my back on my family to go out and be with a sponsee every single night of the week. So I dial it down to what doesn't cheat my family, what I can truly give my true time and experience to a couple of guys and walk them through this thing. And I don't say yes to every commitment anymore. Somebody told me no is a complete sentence. I just wasn't able to say no
Mm-mm.
because
Me
I
either.
wanted to look like Superman. And I also thought I was less than if I said no. Because I had this guy that used to say, "Oh, you don't want to you're going to turn your back on the program that saved your life, kid." No, I'm not turning my back on the program.
Did he say it just like that? Did
Yeah,
he say it
real raspy, smoky.
like
You can't say no, kid. Yes, I
Sounds
can.
like
I
sounds like the
can
guy
say
that
no.
freaking
It's
coached
okay.
Rocky.
Yeah, it's somewhere between Mickey, Burgess Meredith, and something else. I don't know. But yeah,
That's a mashup.
it's one of those deals where I had to get to a point where I grew enough to be able to be comfortable saying no.
Mm.
I wasn't comfortable early on, and I had the time early on because I had nothing else going on. God provided me no job for the whole first year and said, "Hey, you need to focus on your recovery." And I did,
Yeah.
and I built a good foundation. And then as I've grown, the job and the other responsibilities have grown. But I'm able to say today, no, because I will not be effective for you, or no, I can't take that commitment because sure, I might be able to make it once or twice, but it's a commitment. I know I'm not going to be able to make it all the time. So
Mm.
ask somebody else that can actually make it. Maybe ask somebody that's a little earlier in recovery that needs this, where I'm full right now. And that's hard to do.
It is.
That wasn't year 1, 2 stuff. That was a little bit later on that I was
I
comfortable.
still struggle. I still struggle with it. I'm overbooked right now. I am. I still struggle with it. And I
I
do
think
have,
we
and
always will.
yeah, and I recognize it and I still do it anyway. It's like, I know that I shouldn't get high again. I've
Yeah.
been through this, but I'm doing it anyway. I mean, it's that thing. We talked about this at the beginning. It's the same mentality, but the boundaries. That's why I was like, so please say something about it. Because that is a hard thing, but that is very much part of keeping your cup full. Because then ego is at the baseline of it. Because
See, look,
why
I'm
are
gonna
we
put
saying
this
yes?
up. I've been told we don't say no to the program. I was told that too, but at what expense? At what
Exactly.
expense? If you're new, if you're in your first year or so and you don't have anything else going on, yeah, you probably shouldn't say no to a door commitment or a coffee making commitment or things like that, because that gets you into your fellowship, introduces you to people, makes you of service. But for me, taking on 10 different speaking engagements just because I don't want to say no to the program, that's ego is the only reason I would say yes. Is, well, I
Yeah.
need more people to hear me talk. No,
Right.
no, I don't. I don't even need to hear me talk anymore. And we go to a meeting on Monday night that I chaired for like 4 years straight or 3 years straight. And it took somebody going in, "Hey, do you need any help, Caesar? Like, would you like somebody else to chair this meeting and unlock this door and this and that?" And I was like, "Oh, actually, that'd be really nice if I could sit over on the other side and listen and not do this." But, sometimes my mind doesn't get there. And I just need somebody to point it out to me till I go, "Oh, crap."
That's where that unity comes in handy. Because when we have a group of good people around us, they'll call us on our bullshit.
Yeah, you know what, you might be saying, if you don't say no to the program at some times, you'll be saying no to other stuff, because service work is also to your family and the people that you love.
And
So that's
True. Yes,
Yeah.
Justin.
And
Yeah.
I also think that term has gotten misconstrued and convoluted over the years. I think, to me, what's not saying no to the program means is I'm prioritizing my recovery over everything else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm making sure that is the first thing I do when I wake up. That is what, that's my first priority, because like Caesar said so eloquently in the beginning, without it, I have nothing. But
Right.
I'm saying yes to my program on a daily basis by getting up and praying, by doing my gratitude, by reading my books, by reaching out to other alcoholics, and that is saying yes to my program. And guess what? Nobody's got there's not a right way, a wrong way. There's just to do it. You know what I mean? Some do it differently, some do it this way, some do it that way. So you're asking these questions like, there's not really any clear-cut answers. You know what I mean? The only responsibility I have in this deal is to not pick up, to connect with my fellowship, connect with God, and help others. If I'm doing those three things, then I'm in really good shape,
Yep.
And that's what we do in our daily practice, throughout, like when we're not in those settings, we bring it out into the world. And that's how I do it, man. And like being of good maximum service to my family is practicing these things outside of that, the meetings and the fellowship and all that
Right,
stuff.
Justin.
Acting this stuff while I'm by myself. Because listen, I practice this stuff every day. I do exactly what I'm supposed to do every single morning because I know that's going to set me up, for that. But I also don't know what it's like to set boundaries with myself, so I don't overdo it. Like this, I'm telling you right now, though, I might overdid it today on this project, but I'm telling you right now, I'm at the end of it, and I'm gonna feel real grateful as I'm sitting in this swing around my little fire. You know what I mean? and I'm gonna enjoy it, man, because that's something that to me is like a little bit of self-care. Yeah, a little overdid it doing it, and I freaking rolled my ankle too. It sucks. It sucks.
Hey, can I respond to this one real quick?
You respond
is
to
it
anything you
Raphael?
want.
No.
Because I wanted to tell him, don't ever apologize for being here. I've seen your story and what you've been through. We're so grateful for you to come on here, to get vulnerable. And what you did, that is a very definition of what like a person of integrity and character, the person that I'm striving to be in recovery is. So thank you. You don't have to apologize for anything. You're welcome here anytime. Just grateful you showed up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch on Melissa because I said, yes, I can say no, but 100% I can say no, but I don't want to come off cold. Of course, I'm going to help them find somebody. If somebody finds what I have attractive and asks me to be a sponsor and I'm full up and I cannot give them their proper time and attention, I will definitely recommend a couple of people that I know can take on some people. I would never just go, no, man, good luck. That's not how we operate. And fortunately, I have a big network of guys that I can point people to. And sometimes I've got too much on my plate and sometimes I don't have enough. And really lately, I haven't had to say no because I don't have that many guys. My guys are far enough along that they don't need babysitting and I can take on new people. But like I said, when it was ego running the show, trying to work with like 10 guys, you're cheating those guys. It's just they're not getting what they need. 10 brand new guys all going through the work at the exact same time. That was ego. For me, somebody else may be able to handle 20 dudes. I don't know. That's not me. I was not able to, and I was cheating people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over here on Instagram trying to type a comment, and it's making it go. It put it backwards. I'm like, what is going on right now? They need to get their crap together over there.
Listen, I'm old, man. I don't even know how to Instagram.
Get the hell out of here, Caesar. Yo, we're over time,
life, son.
We're over time, man.
Don't sign off without a happy birthday.
Okay. Happy birthday, Rachel. Are we gonna
Happy birthday, Rachel?
Happy birthday, Rachel.
Do you want to sing her happy birthday, bro?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Ready?
Happy
birthday
to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday, dear Rachel. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! I don't have a map. I'll just do a heart.
Get your stuff together. All right, y'all, man. If you're new here, right. Hold on, wait. Let me see if we can do that.
I want
Justin.
to.
There it is.
I don't mind. Doesn't do it.
But isn't it like? How does it go with the balloons?
I don't remember is it one piece?
Oh, it's just this. Okay. There we go. Give you some balloons. There you go.
Aw.
All right.
Have a good
If
week,
you guys
y'all.
are new here, what's that?
I was just telling everybody have a good week.
Yeah, everyone have a good week. But if you're new here, we do this every Sunday, 8 p.m. live. And everybody on Instagram, we go to 8 p.m. live every Sunday to do topics. The last Sunday of the month is a speaker, except for this month. We're going to have it at the beginning of January. We're going to have actually Ryan Hampton on January 7th to share his story.
Oh, that's
Wanna
going to
watch
be
that.
cool.
Nice.
Yep. I'm going to be posting up the link and getting the event started. And then, so we'll see you guys next Sunday, 8 p.m. right here live on the Hope Shot. Until then, have a great weekend. Week. Yeah, week. All right, y'all. See ya.